Hot off the heels of Deadpool and Wolverine, the MCU is at the precipice of arguably its biggest change in a long time. And no, I'm not one of these people who's been saying that, oh, the MCU's dying and it's all because of She-Hulk. But calm down, alright? That's not the case. I'm more concerned with where the MCU is headed from a storytelling perspective. And so now more than ever, I find myself asking, is the multiverse too big for cinema? But before we get into that, if you want to watch more videos about storytelling in books, films, and TV, then make sure to hit that subscribe button while you're here. So let's kick things off with Deadpool and Wolverine, and I can tell you right now, I love this film. I feel like this film came out at the perfect time, not just to give the MCU a bit of a kick in the bum, but also to offer just a great comedy at a time when there haven't really been too many of those recently. From the opening dance scene to all the cameos and the jokes at Marvel's expense, this really felt like a film for the fans. And the film doesn't try to break stuff down for a general audience either. It just already assumes that you know everything about the X-Men, which, if you're a general viewer of the MCU, might not be the case. But I'm not going to spoil too much of that here because this is one of those films where the fun is in seeing all of these secrets for the first time. But I do want to talk about one of the big plot points that the film utilizes, and that's the multiverse. Now, that concept isn't anything new to the MCU. We've already seen it appear in Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But these films stayed true to the core universe that we already know. It was more about those characters being visited by people from the multiverse or temporarily traveling to their dimensions. Deadpool and Wolverine, however, is the first time that the MCU has actively focused on characters from the multiverse, and it sets the tone for where Marvel wants to go in the future. The problem is that I just can't shake the feeling that there's going to be a lot of pitfalls with trying to get this concept across to audiences. For instance, just to take stock of where we are right now, you've got the Sacred Timeline, which is what we all know and love, the Fox Timeline, which has Deadpool and Wolverine in it. There is the new X-Men timeline that features at the end of the Marvels, and supposedly the upcoming Fantastic Four film will also take place in a universe of its own, for the fact that it's going for a 1960s futuristic vibe that we already know just wouldn't fit into the Sacred Timeline. Already, that's a lot of moving parts, and it makes me wonder whether or not a casual viewer of the MCU can really be expected to keep track of it all. Certainly the big question will be, how can you build a central villain that works across all of these different timelines? That was the one thing that was easy to do with Thanos, in that because he was always there plotting away in the background, his presence could be breadcrumbed throughout the different films of the Infinity Saga. And given that we're now in Phase 5 and supposedly the next Avengers film is under 2 years away, that's not a lot of time to set up Doctor Doom, who we know to be the next big bad, across all of these different timelines. And I wonder, can it actually be done? Of course, the precedent for all of this lies in the comics. Both Marvel and DC have put out plenty of multiverse storylines in the past, and so for any comic book readers out there, I want to pose the question to you. Do you think Marvel can pull this off in cinematic form, or is the multiverse just simply too big a concept for film? However you feel, let me know in the comments below, and above all, thank you for watching. And also, go see Deadpool and Wolverine.